Shalom, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I am.
Yes,
I can.
we hear you. We hear everybody loud and clear. Welcome to the Zion Business Circle Olay. See a lot of friends out there. Incredible. Wow. Doron, great to see you. Good. I hope everybody had a wonderful Chag, a wonderful holiday. And if I mess up, you'll let me know as we go along. We're going to start in a minute with Asaf Miron is going to be joining us in a second with a little musical introduction. But before we do that, if everyone could just tell us for a second where you're from and give us like 10 seconds so we know where everyone's coming from. We can start on the top left with Richard Green. Where are you sitting right now?
I'm sitting in city center, Jerusalem.
Welcome on board, Richard. Great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
young
Doron,
man.
where are you currently? Doron Afik.
I'm city center, Tel Aviv.
City Center, Tel Aviv. Fantastic. And we have Lidor Suiza on my TV at bottom left. Lidor, I think you're muted right now. Yafet.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Where are you currently?
I'm from Rishon LeZion.
Fantastic. Welcome on board. And in the center of our screen, or in my screen, I have Chaim Makavi. Chaim, where are you?
Yeah, hi everyone. I am in the Krayot region in the north of Haifa.
Fantastic. And on the top right, a gentleman that I don't think I've had the honor of meeting, that's Stephen Crow. Is that correct?
It's Crew.
Crew.
Pronounced like CRW, yes.
Okay.
I'm joining you from Palm Beach, Florida. Although I'd like to be with everybody in the Holy Land, but
okay.
I'm here now.
Well, we'll see you here soon. Fantastic. And joining us in a little bit, Jason Cement was running a little late from Los Angeles, so I moved him to the 7:30 spot for his dialogue. And here we have Asaf Miron from Jerusalem. He's on Hillel Street at a piano. I think we just lost him for a second, but I'm going to figure out how to mute everyone if Asaf's going to join us. If not, we'll get started and we'll wait for him to join us. He had some technical difficulty. If there's anyone else that I did not see, please let me know. And
well, we didn't get an introduction from you, sir.
Oh, I am Raphael Gross. I'm in Rehavia in Jerusalem and in the capital of Israel. Excited to be here and excited to be helping everybody. And I'm here in studio with Raphael Har. Say hello, Raphael, to everybody. Raphael walks the streets of Jerusalem advocating for Israel and advocating for a lot of incredible causes.
Maybe, perhaps, hold on. Perhaps you've seen this, me in Manila. Perhaps you'll see me in Manila on the front lines of the free world, physically and spiritually. All know.
Fantastic. He's given me his studio, which has been a great space for today. So without further ado, I'm just going to give a little introduction about the Zion Business Circle and the Olay Network, so everyone can have a little insight. I'm sharing my screen now, and it'll give you a little sense of what actually we do and what it's about. So it was created 15 years ago as the Aliyah Fund to help 1 million people thrive in Israel. And through experience, it became a very powerful business network, helping people, introducing them for various reasons, for mentorship, for guidance, not just with Israeli bureaucracies, but also with, just dealing with the cultural differences in terms of coming to Israel. So there are many challenges and problems, and one of the things that this mind map has done is shown that there are problems, there are solutions. And my previous Zoom, which is recorded, I'll drop into the link so everyone can view it if they'd like. It's about 20 minutes long. Doron and I were on that session, and we went into the unique value proposition, being involved with trusted, valued, vetted friends is a big part of it. Making friends, connecting, and ultimately thriving in Israel. And all the different segments that we address, from technology to art to business to medical, and everything in between. No matter what your passion is in Israel, the network has somebody or a group of people that are, helping making things happen. And then on the other side, we talk about, what the future holds, what the different structures will be, how we can access it. We have a mobile app for the Zion Business Network. We have an incredible social media presence, on Facebook, on Instagram, and so on. And everything's been done organically through friends. And this gives you a little insight. But the basic idea is that in order to fix the problem, which is broken from within, we need to address it from the outside. We need to create a global network through business and through relationships that can solve the challenges that exist within Israel. There are many challenges, and many people, from different parts of the world come to Israel, and they try to live in their same culture, whether they're from France or whether they're from Russia, whether they're from South America. Obviously, the United States, and so on. And what we've done is addressed a lot of those issues. And I'd like to bring on right now a dear friend, Chaim Maccabi. Chaim and I met probably about 7-8 years ago at a tech conference in Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv. And, we immediately realized that, the value that Chaim brings, well, what I saw as the passion that Chaim brought as being an Olet from Brazil. He's been here for, I think, over 30 years. I'm going to ask Chaim to unmute himself right now. I think, yes, there you go. Chaim, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so a bit about me and the work I have been doing. I'm originally from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and I made Aliyah more than 30 years ago. It was in 1992. I did a master's degree at the Technion in computer science. And since 1995, I have been working in Israeli high-tech industry, mostly with startup companies, also with some big companies. Currently, I am involved with several startups as an advisor, and some of them also CTO. But besides my professional background, I have been active as a volunteer trying to help Olim for more than 80 years now. And I have been, in particular, a mentor in an organization called Gvaim. And I also have been very active with Olim from South America, because of course this is my background. I speak Portuguese and I speak Spanish. I also speak French. So I was very active also in all kinds of organizations trying to help Olim from countries like Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, and Mexico. So in my experience, helping Olim is different from many other kinds of chesed. In Judaism, we talk about this concept of chesed. How would you translate it, Rafa?
Kindness.
Kindness. It's not exactly the same, but perhaps one possible translation. But the concept of chesed in Judaism includes many different kinds of help you give to other people, like tzedakah. Tzedakah is a chesed, but also visiting sick people in a hospital. Bikur cholim is another kind of chesed, and even going to a wedding, lesameach hatan vekala, is also a different kind of chesed. But so there are many different ways we can help people. In particular, with different kinds of tzedakah. But when you help an Oleh Hadash, you are helping a person that is in a very special moment in his or her life. This person is trying, has this loving kindness. Okay, sounds better. And thank you. So when you catch this person who is a Oleh Hadash, and this person is trying to make a very important change in his life, in all aspects of his life, right, or her life. And the aliyah is something that changes everything about a person's life. And when you help this person to be successful in his aliyah process, you are actually changing this person's life. So it's not just like when you do tzedakah, you give some amount of money to some person, you help him for some time with this money. It's not like when you go visit a person who is sick, that you are able for some period of time to comfort this person, but it's very temporary. With this activity helping Olim Hadashim, we may actually change people's lives.
Incredible.
Yeah. So this is very special.
I want to share with you that one of the first things that the Roma did for me, it was close to 10 years ago, when he introduced me to one of the oldest business, it's not one of, it is the oldest business network in Tel Aviv. It's called the Business Club of Tel Aviv, that was founded in 1938. And one of the older members, Yaakov Kal, was passed on. When I shared with him the mission of the Zion Business Circle at the time, 10 years ago, and I told him that the mission is to help 1 million people thrive in Israel, he looked me straight in the eyes, a totally secular guy, and he says, Raphael, do you understand what you're trying to achieve? And I said, I'm just trying to help people. He says, you're going to bring Mashiach. And I was like in Tel Aviv in a totally secular environment, and I was totally like, taken. And when I hear your words, Chaim, when I hear you talk about, this passion that you have for helping people and doing stuff out, and being able to, can everyone hear me okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Okay, thank you.
I can understand you, but it's not perfect. The sound is not perfect. It's
okay.
But
I need the other. So I just so maybe it's better now with the monotone. So let's talk a little bit about our friendship for the next couple of minutes, so that Chaim has referred me probably a half a dozen Olim from Brazil that lived, a couple that lived up in the north, and for various reasons. And I've probably sent him, about the same over the years. And what I feel is that when I hand someone into Chaim's hands, when I just make a connection, I trust that connection. I trust that I know it's going into someone's hands that, really cares, that puts their heart and soul into it. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that means to you, Chaim?
Yes, no, I think that during our lives, we may, in the modern world, during our lives, we have the possibility to meet thousands of people, right? And there are some people we keep in touch because we have some shared interest, and this may be temporary. Other people we keep in touch because we really like them on a personal level. But there are some special kind of people that you keep in touch because you have a shared goal. And you know that in order to achieve your goal, you need other people. It's impossible to do what you want to do alone. And you need to collaborate. You need to cooperate with other people in order to be able to achieve your goal. And so you look for people that have the same beliefs you have, the same values, people you can trust, and then you can go participate together in this effort to achieve your goal, right? And your shared goal. I think this is my case with Raf. We have been in contact for many years now. Some part of the time we met more frequently, part of the time less frequently, for many different reasons, including COVID, which we all remember. It was not so far from us, and we made progress during this period. During the war periods of time, we made more progress, or the periods less progress. But anyway, our goal continues to be extremely relevant. And just since the beginning of the war between Russia and Ukraine, and I'm talking about the war between Russia and Ukraine. So since the beginning of this particular war, Israel received almost or more than 100,000 olim from Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. 100,000, and in a country with 9 million people. And so in a period of 1.5 years, we got a population increase of 1% just from these immigrants, from these olim. So this goal of helping olim is extremely relevant. And I'm very happy to be together with Raf in this effort, and now together with you also. It's a pleasure for me to meet all of you. And I really believe that we can build this group of people that can achieve great things together.
Thank you so much, Chaim. And I want to just summarize this initial conversation with these words, that I believe in the next 5 years, we are going to experience an Aliyah surge like Israel has never seen, similar to the Aliyah that happened in the 1950s. Most people think about, Aliyah numbers, but from 1950 to 1956, 1 million Jews made Aliyah. It's an incredible number when you think about how many people that is to absorb, in a country. And I learned that at the DLD conference from a very wise man one day, because when I say, I'm here to, I want to help 1 million, he said, I think that's doable in your lifetime, considering that, we had 1 million, so I think in the next short period, especially coming from Brazil, from very challenged countries, places where, anti-Semitism is on the rise, but also because I think we have an incredible opportunity through business and through relationships and through friendship to help people in terms of that. Richard, I'm going to ask you at this time if you could please take the spotlight for the next 2 minutes, and if you could talk a little bit about your work that you do, and tell us a little bit about how you make friends and how you connect with people living in Jerusalem. And how long have you been here, Richard?
My wife and I made Aliyah 5 years ago, but we have been coming to Israel for every year for over 25 years, staying out in Gush Etzion with family. So I've been coming here for that time for family purposes, number one, and for business purposes, number two. A number of things come to mind from what Rafi has said, and I think that I'm a networker like a number of you are. My activity is being a business coach, and business advisor, and Hashem, in my opinion, put me on this earth to help people. And I meet people literally every day. And it's really exciting. Yesterday, I was sitting on a bench and ended up some gentleman sitting next to me. And now we are in contact about possible things that we could do together. I'm a businessman. I'm a connector. I help companies with with strategy, with presentations, with venture funding, and I enjoy what I do. And I'm not the same youngsters as all of you, but I'm here to hopefully continue doing what I'm doing for many years. Rafi and I have become. Beg pardon?
No, go on. Well, tell people what we've become.
Okay, we've become good friends, and we are starting to work on a number of activities together. And I believe in the concept of doing well while you're doing good. And doing well can be money, but it doesn't have to be money. Effectively, it's the idea of doing good and helping people. And money is an important element, but many of us do things just out of friendship, as well as helping people lead better lives. So I can go on, but I don't want to hog the podium for the moment.
I love the passion that Richard brings, and I'll just share very briefly. I was living in Sfat in the north of Israel. This goes back 6 years ago, and I was walking in the streets, and a young man and his new wife needed some help with something. They were trying to find something or do something, and of course, I guided them or did whatever I did. And he turns around and he looks at me and says, I think you should meet my grandfather in Jerusalem. I think you guys would really connect. And he gave me Richard's phone number, and he said, just give him a call. He's a great guy. And since then, Richard and I have spoken on endless occasions. And now that I'm living in Jerusalem, it's really beautiful to be able to have coffee with him once or twice a week and talk about what the possibilities are and take action where action is needed. Not just helping businesses, but helping nonprofits. We have a really big project with a nonprofit, which is going to align unity and make things happen. So Richard, I want to thank you for your friendship and thank you for participating and supporting, this great cause. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit here from the agenda. I know we have Jason and Doron are gonna come on in about 5 minutes to talk a little bit about networking and talk a little bit about, I don't think they've ever actually spoken, but we'll see where the dynamic goes. I think it'll be kind of fun. They're both very driven people in many different ways, so it'll be fun. But I want to introduce Lidor Switza, who's in the middle of my screen right now. Lidor and I met at a tech conference run by Yossi Vardi called Sparks Tel Aviv. We were both sitting in the lobby of the Cinematheque in Tel Aviv. And I looked across the way and I said, wow, your cheap seat look like lifesavers, like they're ready to save someone's life. And he smiled and looked at me. And I think we sat there together for like an hour just talking about all the different possibilities that came up. And Lidor, welcome to Design Business Circle and to the OLE Network. It's great to have you here. Tell me a little bit about you. I know that you one of the things I think would be really nice to hear from is the service that you did in Gaza. When you shared the story with me, it's really powerful. Please, bevakasha.
Thank you, Earl. Yes, we did met in the Tel Aviv conference. I think we sat there more than an hour. I think it was maybe like 2.5 hours. It's flying by, it's flying, but it was very, very interesting. My story for my service, well, everybody know what happened in Simchat Torah, and we all jumped together, everyone, Dati, Chiloni, nobody even thought twice. After we got to the south, we had only 2 magazines, 1 weapon, it was a mess, and there was a different feeling. It was a feeling that, first of all, something guarding us, and second of all, that we're going to do something big. And every mission that we had, we went even from Moshavim that wasn't attacked, but was potential to be. And even without any bullets, even without any help, any support, we did. And every terrorist that came simply surrendered. No one of us even got attacked once. Everyone got there, came with their weapons up, and we took him in. And it was amazing. It was amazing because it was a moment that if they were a bit smarter, I don't think that 80% of us would have been sitting today. And it's something that really changed me big time. It helped me understand that doing your passions and to help people, it's more important than everything.
And tell us, how long did you serve? What was your miluim?
My unit served for 35 days. I personally served around 10 because we had so many people coming in that we didn't have enough weapons. So we did rotations.
Wow.
Maybe sometime soon I will come back and need to talk with my CEO and we'll see what's coming.
Incredible.
I mean,
Thank
we had
you so
people
much.
that didn't even support.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and for sharing your, passion. How did you end up? I didn't ask you this when we were sitting there for, you say, over 2 hours. How did you end up getting an invitation to the Tel Aviv Sparks event?
I'm a student to computer science in the college in Rishon.
Okay.
And simply something that the Aguda did with early with the conference, and I think I was the only one who actually came.
Wow.
And yeah, and I know something inside of me just told me to go and to do your part of what Hashem wants. Your how to say it in English? Your part, not your effort.
Yeah.
And to let Hashem do all the rest. And this is how we met.
Thank you so
Pretty
much.
much.
And I look forward for you doing the things that you say you want to do on YouTube with us. I'm really excited about helping the Bet Harav Cook and doing everything. Before I hand it off to Jason, who's waiting so patiently, Steve, would you like to tell us about 2 minutes? Give us a little bit about your background. I see your advocacy online. It's phenomenal. We've never actually met or spoken, but this is incredible that you've joined us. And it'd be beautiful to hear some words from you.
That's my pleasure. I hope the audio is okay. I'm having trouble making adjustments, but if you can control it on your end, that's fine. Thank you. So yes, I'm down here in Palm Beach, Florida. One of the things I noted before in the chat, which I think it seems like a monologue, perhaps, is that I did make Aliyah back in 2010 to Yerushalayim. I had a background at that point as a teacher. I was a history teacher and an art history teacher. And I was actually interested in doing a doctorate in cognitive neuropsychology, cognitive neurosciences, I should say, at the Safra Brain Center at Hebrew University. And I had an hour-and-a-half conversation with Daniel Kahneman, who just passed away, Zatzal, Nobel Prize winner in behavioral economics. He was the dean at the time, and we had a great conversation. He said, "I'd love to have you in the program, but you need to elevate your Hebrew level." So I went and did Ulpan, improved my Hebrew somewhat, and to support myself, I came with some money, but that disappeared pretty quickly. I ended up could not find a decent job. I was tutoring IDF students coming back basically from their follow-up year in Thailand or Turkey, wherever they were going, who wanted to get into certain faculties at Hebrew University in Har Sofim and then Givat Ram, certain social science and humanities faculties, helping them with their applications and to pass entrance exams and such. But it didn't really pay my bills. I had a roommate. I was living in Arnona, and I loved Jerusalem. And I think if I would have gone down to Tel Aviv, I probably could have made it work. I was solo at the time. I was divorced. I've since gotten remarried. But I didn't want to go to Tel Aviv because I was originally from New York City and I've lived in Montreal and other places, Bologna, Oslo. I've lived around the world. And it was just to me, it was another cosmopolitan city. I wanted something that was special, as a religious Zionist, I should say, in Jerusalem, because I also had friends in the Gush Etzion. I had studied in the 90s at Yeshivat Machon Ma'ir in Kiryat Moshe, and I had friends who were rabbis there. I knew Shlomo Rabbi Riskin, and I have a good friend of mine is Avi Abelo, who's down there. Some of you know these people, and that's where I wanted to be. So instead of making a concession and going to Tel Aviv or maybe going to Haifa, I tried to stick it out in Jerusalem. It didn't work. I was there close to 3 years and I ended up coming back to the States, unfortunately.
Okay, well,
So
we're gonna work on bringing you back, because we're gonna bring you back on a level that you couldn't imagine.
I would love to do it. But I know I probably used my allotted time, but I can, in subsequent conversation, elaborate more and talk about what I could bring to the table, including with Chaim. I'm a musicologist of sorts, and I have a big background in Brazilian music. I'm a composer, and I can make connections with some of the great Brazilian musicians and Brazilians who are interested in music in Israel. So that's one area. But I'm also very involved in real estate and development. But I'll leave it there for now, and I'll just listen to what the programming from this point forward, and I look forward to continuing to be involved in the work here.
Welcome on board. Wow, incredible. So I just read in the notes that Doron, who was going to go toe-to-toe with Jason over here in terms of their passion and what they do, had to jump off for something urgent. So I'm going to step in for Doron. Jason Cement is in Los Angeles. He's one of my favorite people on the planet, actually. I actually read his newsletter like religiously. He gives so much knowledge and information in his newsletter that it's literally like a graduate course in internet and personal networking and how to build your visibility. So Jason, give us your 2-minute presentation that you would give if you were at a networking event, because that's where I think you spend a little bit of time.
You're making me laugh. Hold on one second. You made me think about this. So I wrote this years ago. Let's see if it comes up.
Yeah, it comes up.
Is to break the ice, basically. It's hard here. I'll get a little closer. It says 43 clever conversation starters to maximize your networking experience. Basically, I'm not Rafi, who's very excited to talk to people and go into rooms and just shake everybody's hands and give them big bear hugs. That's not me. I'm more one-on-one or venues like this. But you got to push yourself. It's like everybody who joins the IDF, they make them better people than they thought they could be. So what I do understand about networking, though, is that you are virtually creating relationships with people that you may never actually meet in person. And that's okay, because I have friends now all over the country, in Israel as well, that I'm not sure if I'll ever meet them, but we share things in common. As you said, I forget who said, I think Chaim said it earlier, when you're evaluating, you look for the shared values and common values. And so that thing can happen as well online as well. I mean, before the internet, we had pen pals, and this is just a modern day version of that. And so what I believe works the best is showing people who you really are. Like, I'll give you an example. In America, the politics are just as crazy as they are in Israel, and it's since 2016. You can't sit on the fence anymore because people don't let you. So you got to announce yourself. Are you Republican? Are you conservative? Are you Democrat? Are you liberal? Are you this or that? And I'm very upfront about my conservative values, let's say. And I wear yarmulke, so people already put me into a cubby hole. And yet I have many clients that are far to the left. And I think because I am upfront about it, not in an obnoxious way, but in a valued way, that it enables people to have conversations with me. And with networking, unless you're the cool person in the room, which most people are not, then what people gravitate to is authenticity and knowledge.
But wait a second, Jason. I remember 15 years ago, we went to this thing called the Israel conference in Brentwood, right? And I walked into this room with like all these Israelis and all these powerhouse, CEOs and everything. And there's Jason at a table with his laptop plugged in, head in the screen, plugging away, writing, doing his thing. I walk away with like, 10 business cards. I go, yeah, I had a great day. And I look at Jason, and I go, and Jason goes, yeah, I got some leads.
No, but I understand, but the truth of the matter is, I wish that there was a way to combine both of our strengths, because you can walk into that room and you can really do an amazing thing that I'm not geared for that. So I have to find other methods. So what I'm better at doing is using technology to and obviously my own knowledge and the pursuit of knowledge to create value for other people. So in the same way, I think that I forgot who said it before, that that you felt God put you here to help people and to do things for people. So I think that, right. So I think that is I belong to an organization here. They say it's self-selecting. You can't just join, you have to be approved, but the people who tend to join, tend to be givers more than takers. And I'm not trying to put out a flag that I'm the biggest giver on the planet, but I think that networking is about changing your mindset to say, what can I do for people around me, and become known for that? Because if you become known for that, then people want to gravitate to people like you. And so that's the most effective networking. Because you're obviously doing good stuff.
You're right. I think for me, networking is stating your dreams, stating your the wildest imagination that I have. I go out and I tell people, I want to help 1 million people, or, I'm going to do a triathlon in October. And people look at me, I'm a big guy, and they go, really? And I say, if I have to walk or crawl, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish. I'm going to make it happen. I just lost 120 pounds, in the last 6 months, and I got another 60 to go. It's okay. It'll happen in good time. But it's like people look at me and they're like, Rafi, you're like, every time you post something, you're like writing about this triathlon. And yeah, I signed up. I'm doing it. But